My name is Wilhelm, and I've been volunteering at Panhandle Animal Shelter since December 2019. I work with cats.
My name is Angela, and I've also been volunteering at the Panhandle Animal Shelter since December 2019. I started out volunteering with the cats, and then I started doing dog walking.
My favorite thing about volunteering is hanging out with the cats. It actually helps the cats more than you think.
My favorite thing about volunteering here is watching the animals get adopted. When we get one that gets adopted, it is really heartwarming. I really enjoy coming and spending time with the animals. They get so excited to have a human contact. When I go to walk the dogs, they get really excited to go for that walk. And I just find that it's good for my soul. I get to go and walk and spend time with this animal, and it's a lot of enjoyment.
I feel like the shelter helped me adopt my cat, Ladybug. My cat, Ladybug, was a stray that the previous owners had in a garage for 2 years. I came and adopted Ladybug because she wasn't shy. She was on my dad's lap. Then I came over and sat next to Dad, and the cat moved over to me and sat on me. I made her a blanket. We set it down on our cat bed, and then she found out that I had a backpack I don't use, and now she sleeps on there. The only reason I found out about her and that my dad did was the shelter. My name is Wilhelm, and I've been volunteering at Panhandle Animal Shelter since December 2019. I work with cats.
My name is Angela, and I've also been volunteering at the Panhandle Animal Shelter since December 2019. I started out volunteering with the cats, and then I started doing dog walking.
My favorite thing about volunteering is hanging out with the cats. It actually helps the cats more than you think.
My favorite thing about volunteering here is watching the animals get adopted. When we get one that gets adopted, it is really heartwarming. I really enjoy coming and spending time with the animals. They get so excited to have human contact. When I go to walk the dogs, they get really excited to go for that walk. And I just find that it's good for my soul. I get to go and walk and spend time with this animal, and it's a lot of enjoyment.
I feel like the shelter helped me adopt my cat, Ladybug. My cat, Ladybug, was a stray that the previous owners had in a garage for 2 years. I came and adopted Ladybug because she wasn't shy. She was on my dad's lap. Then I came over and sat next to Dad, and the cat moved over to me and sat on me. I made her a blanket. We set it down on our cat bed, and then she found out that I had a backpack I don't use, and now she sleeps on there. The only reason I found out about her and that my dad did was the shelter.
Hello, and welcome to Sit.Stay.Give, a virtual fundraiser for the Panhandle Animal Shelter. I'm John Hatcher, outgoing board president for the shelter, and I'm honored to welcome you to our event. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us for our annual fundraiser. We're excited to share more about the shelter and the impact that we're making together in the lives of dogs and cats and the people who love them. We are saddened that we can't be together because of COVID-19, but today we're gathering to celebrate the accomplishments of the shelter and to look towards the future. If you're new to the area or just learning about Panhandle Animal Shelter, we're a nonprofit shelter located in Panhandle, Idaho. We serve people and animals across the Panhandle, and we pride ourselves on doing it with kindness, compassion, and love for our community and the people and animals that we serve. Our mission is to create and support meaningful connections by enhancing the lives of dogs, cats, and the people in our community who love them. As you'll hear later, we see ourselves as a resource center, not just a shelter. Our goal is to support people and their pets so families stay together. This includes providing pet food or supplies, helping with pet medical needs, and helping animals go from one home to another. In 2019, Panhandle Animal Shelter served over 8,000 animals. This is possible because of the commitment of our dedicated staff, volunteers, board members, and through the support of our community. We are so grateful for every person who helps make this work possible. I also want to recognize the role philanthropy has in our work. We couldn't do what we do without the generosity of people like you. Our donor support and partnership helps allow us the opportunity to help so many. Thank you. Many people don't know that almost half of our operating revenue comes from our thrift store. The store sells clothing, housewares, furniture, and more. It's possible because of generous donations from people from all across our region. We recently added Steve CAROTHERS to our team as the new thrift store manager, and he's got big plans to help our store grow even more so that we can help more animals. Generosity comes in many forms to the shelter. We're grateful for every bag of cat and dog food, donations of blankets, cleaning products, treats, and toys. We're also grateful for gifts of cash, fundraisers people host on our behalf, and the special legacy gifts people dedicate to us through their planned giving. Last but most importantly, for today, we're grateful for donors who have helped make this all possible. Our sponsors have helped us put together amazing packages, unique items, and special experiences to auction off today. During this uncertain time, this generosity is extra special. Please help us recognize our sponsors by shopping at their businesses and thanking them for their support. Thanks again so much for joining us today. I'm excited for you to hear our program and hope you'll consider supporting us through our auction or our paddle race. Today's event helps raise the money PES needs to fund its programs, services, and operations. Have fun, learn more about our impact, and please give generously to help us keep doing this important work. And with all of your support and help, we can all be better together.
Good morning, I'm Keith Congleton. I'm the board president for the Panhandle Animal Shelter. We're excited to welcome you to this virtual fundraiser. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. We've prepared stories to share with you today in hopes that you can see where your money goes, the lives it saves, and the people and animals who find each other and stay together because of you. You'll hear about the impact the shelter makes on animals in need, the work of our tireless volunteers, and you'll hear from some of our donors too. Our executive director, Mandy Evans, will share more about what the shelter is doing to help animals and humans across the region and throughout the country. She'll share what the future holds for Panhandle Animal Shelter. After that, we've got amazing auction items, and we'll be asking you to open your wallets and give generously to support our work. If you have technical troubles throughout this event, just ask for help using our chat and someone will assist you. We're glad you're here today, and we hope you'll sit, stay, and give.
Hello and welcome to our first virtual fundraiser, Sit, Stay, Give. This event replaces our annual in-person event we hold every August. I'm thrilled to be able to continue with this tradition in this unique way. COVID has impacted us all differently, and I'm happy to report that when COVID hit, we quickly adapted our programs and services to be online or on the phone, and we continued to be a safety net for animals in need in our community. This event is important to me because it's the one time of year that we get to share with you all of the wonderful work we've been able to do because of you and your support. Speaking of support, we have to give a big thank you to our sponsors, Lighthouse Foods, Easy Dog, Oak Street Mercantile, and Laughing Dog Brewing. Our next video demonstrates one of the most important aspects of our work and a program that's been critical during COVID. It helps keep animals out of the shelter and in loving homes. Let's hear more about it from Betty and Devin.
The helpline was created in June of 2016 by Mandy Evans, our shelter director, as a way to connect to our local community of pet owners and offer them resources, solutions, and guidance with their pets.
We receive about 1,800 phone calls every year, and it's, can range from, assistance with food, assistance with vaccines. Sometimes it's minor medical, sometimes it's major medical.
The most common needs that we experience through the helpline would be medical issues and owner surrenders.
Sometimes we have also, a financial hardship, and, there's an underlying medical condition. And if it's something that basically we can provide assistance for even, that piece of it, we're happy to do so.
The awesome thing about the helpline is there's no barriers, there's no walls. I don't know what side of the road that person lives on. I don't know their lifestyle. I don't know the color of their skin. I just know that they're a human being. Their pet needs help, and the only way to help pets really is to reach out and help people. One story that comes to mind that really shows how the helpline works is a gentleman. He's on a very limited income. His 2 cats were his family. They were pretty much his whole world. So he lived in this apartment for 3 years, and then found out that in order to keep his cats, he was going to have them vaccinated. He had no other option but to give up the cats because he could not afford taking his cats to the vet. It can get pretty expensive, and he just didn't have the funds to do that. So he called the helpline. We vaccinated them, gave them health checks, dewormed them, and then we gave him all the documentation that he needed to provide to his apartment manager to be able to keep the cats. And so it worked out. He got to keep his beloved pets, and the apartment manager was happy. So it ended, everybody was happy.
We really believe in helping our community. We don't ever want anybody to feel bad about the situation that they're in. We want them to recognize that we are a resource for them and that we are here to help. And we don't ask questions. We don't want you feeling ashamed of your situation. We want you to walk out knowing that you have support. We will do whatever we can to help with whatever situation you're in to the best of our abilities.
Seeing that makes me so happy because I know the importance of the work that we do. Our organization started decades ago with this idea of trying to provide a safe place for dogs and cats that were in transition. But really, there was a vision for the future where pet homelessness didn't exist. And a lot of the efforts being put towards this vision were based in litter prevention. But our shelter and our organization decided about 5 years ago to really start to evaluate what could we be doing differently? What could we do that would keep animals out of the shelter? Because as much effort and love that we give these animals when they're here, do they really need to be sheltered? We started to look at the root reasons why, and we figured out that there were a couple of areas that needed more improvement. Identification of lost pets, owner surrender assistance, access to medical care and training, and bolstering our spay and neuter efforts. Some of the solutions we came up with, one is Pets for Life. Pets for Life is a program of the Humane Society of the United States, and we started it here in our neighborhood. We go to underserved neighborhoods, so neighborhoods that might have a lack of access to veterinary care and other resources. We started a targeted approach where a member of our team knocks on doors of those community members and says, "Hi, I'm with Panhandle Animal Shelter. Do you have any pets? Can we help you with them?" We provide free spay and neuter and other services so that we can keep our community pets happy and healthy and in their homes. Another program was what you just heard about, our helpline. Last year, we served 1,800 animals through that service, and we're delighted to do it because one of the things that we know and we see is that people love their pets. And a lack of access to veterinary care, training resources, and just simply information does not dictate irresponsible ownership and doesn't dictate a lack of love. Our spay and neuter programs, we continue with our low-cost voucher, with our trap neuter return, and obviously a real strong focus on spaying and neutering before adoption. We also have a food bank, which gives out 7 tons of dog and cat food a year. 7 tons. And this is all because of you. Each community member helps contribute to that food bank that is helping people with the simplest way that they could keep a family member in their home. And we have our home-to-home program. Our home-to-home program was established here at our shelter to help owners have an alternative if they really needed to surrender their pet, that they could do it on their own through rehoming. And it's been very successful. These programs have increased our community impact by 500%. And fewer animals in the shelter may give people the perception that we're doing less, but really we're doing more. We're trying to really solve the problem rather than being reactive and having animals in our shelter. Last year, even with this work, we ended up serving 1,000 more animals in our building than we ever had before. But we also helped more animals in our community than we had ever had before, too. 8,000 more animals. So we've been recognized for some of these practices and the different ways that we've approached animal welfare. Our home-to-home program is featured in the Best Practice Playbook for Animal Shelters. And the University of Wisconsin-Madison Shelter Medicine Program invited us to speak to up-and-coming shelter veterinarians on how to partner with community and open adoptions. Our work has been featured and funded by the Humane Society of the United States, Maddie's Fund, University of Wisconsin, UC Davis, and Novia, ASPCA, and Best Friends Animal Society. Transporting animals, this is a hot topic. We used to transport animals in on a regular basis, and we still do, but you may not realize that we're pulling animals now from the state of Idaho. We are a partner shelter with the Post Falls Animal Shelter, which means that when they have dogs that have not been adopted and they need room to bring in more dogs, we take those dogs into our shelter so that they don't have to euthanize for space. This focus on Idaho First is also part of a coalition that we're governing board members for. It's called the Idaho Sheltering Coalition. And recently, now the Idaho Sheltering Coalition, I should tell you, was established to try to reduce the unnecessary euthanasia of animals in shelters in our state. Best Friends recently awarded the coalition a collective impact award for reducing euthanasia in the state by 50%. So our efforts and what we're doing, they're working. We are making our state a better place. Then, not just in the state, but going beyond that, our home-to-home program is now in 40 shelters throughout the nation. So our impact and our ability to save lives on a greater level is happening every single day. But before I move into our auction, which is really the meat of this, I want to tell you a little story about Brian and Boone. They both have B names. Brian, he called our helpline in desperate need. His dog, Boone, had become pretty lethargic, and he really was worried about what was happening and that he was going to lose him. He had called veterinarians, and it was just too expensive to have Boone seen by a vet. When he called our helpline, Betty jumped into action, made an appointment with our medical staff, and he brought Boone in to see our team. We figured out that Boone had heartworms, and he'd probably had them for quite some time. Our team put him on a careful regimen so that we could cure the heartworm in a safe manner. And Brian wrote us this note that I wanted to share with you. Let's see. Well, I'm always worried when it comes to my buddy. Heck, all right, let me back up. Heck, he's how we get around sometimes just due to people liking him more than they like me. But all joking aside, I honestly thought I'd be ending this life journey without him due to these heartworms. And because of you all and what and who you are, you're saving my best friend. Just know I wouldn't say this stuff to your face because I'm not going to cry in front of you. I just wanted you to know. Our work is really meaningful, and it helps people every single day in our community. And the fact of the matter is that we couldn't do any of it without you. We need the partnership of donors and community members to play an active role in helping us with this work. With the upcoming potential housing crisis, recession, we really just don't know. Our services are going to be more important than ever. We have a program called Temporary Loving Care, where if people cannot care for their pet, if they are homeless and they're searching for a new pet-friendly housing, that we'll watch people's pets while they're looking so that they don't have to surrender to a shelter. The goal is to keep families together. We're going to move into the auction portion of our event, but I get to introduce you to our auctioneer. Our auctioneer this year is John Hatcher, and John has been serving on the board for 6 years. He just left. We had to kick him off, but his dedication to our organization has been forever because he used to serve on the board a long time ago. His company, Easy Dog, provides a free collar to every dog adopted from our shelter. And today he's wearing a new hat, an auctioneer hat. Now, I just want to stress that we want to build John up. We want him to feel good about his work and what he's doing, and that he's a little insecure about this. And the only way we can do that is through the gratification of a lot of donations. So hit those donate buttons and help John feel really good today. All right, John, there you go.
Thanks, Mandy. I didn't have an auctioneer hat, but I had the black shirt, and I thought that was pretty much what an auctioneer would wear. And I also have to say that I hope that the Guinness Book of World Record people are here, because I am definitely going to be in there next year for the world's slowest auctioneer, because I can't talk like that. So I'll be using my own style. And I just want to say I'm so happy to be here. And as Mandy said, I just left the board 2 weeks ago. And real quick, I just want to say that I've been involved with this organization for going on, I think, 14 or 15 years. And it's been so exciting to watch, especially when you watch from where we were 15 years ago to where we are today. And just the amount of community support that we provide through Mandy's direction and Devin and Paige and everybody there. It's just fantastic. And it's super fun to watch how they grow. But again, we can't do that without the necessary funds that so many of you have provided, that we're so thankful and grateful to. And with that, we're going to get right to our paddle raise. And we are going to start I want to start with before we do our paddle raise, we have a lot of donors that actually donated before this auction so that we could have some matching donors. And I want to recognize them first and foremost. So Michael and Kina from Happy Tails and Trails Pet Adventures. If you are not familiar with Happy Tails and Trails Pet Adventures, they have a enthusiastic endorsement from my dog Radar personally. So check them out. Connie and Holt Taylor, oh my gosh, they have just been so involved and so supportive of the shelter for so long. We love them. David Wonick and Mary Beth Ports, Wayne and Gail Bomar, Lynn Evanson and David St. Amand, the estate of Joseph Morano, Dwayne and Lori Castles, Big D, Lighthouse Foods, Camille and David Balfons. All of these people have just been so involved with us for so long, and we're so appreciative of their continuing support. And it actually helps us raise the bar for the rest of you out there. So let's get going. We're going to start at our $10,000 level. So right now we're going to start raising those paddles, and if we can get everybody just to go ahead and raise $10,000, we can just go ahead and end this and all meet up for a beer someplace, probably Laughing Dog.
All right.
So, do we have any $10,000 donors out there right now? I know we've got somebody out there.
Yes. So, John, can you hear me okay?
Yes. Tell me
While we wait for a $10,000 donor, I thought I would just share with you that we, our Pets for Life program, will actually visit around 400 families a year.
400 families.
Just trying to grease the wheels here and get people excited about the work we're doing.
And we're still like very central, close to home here with that, right? Within Bonner County, we've hardly scratched the surface.
Yeah, we went Ponderay, then Kootenai, and now in Clark Fork. And John, we just received a $10,000 contribution.
Awesome.
From Ross and Vicky Longini.
So Ross and Vicky have been such fantastic supporters, and also what a lot of people don't know is the work that Ross has done behind the scenes with Panhandle Animal Shelter. He's a strategic genius, and he has really helped us in the last, year, 18 months, defining our direction and just so many great things. And I think at the same time though, he's learned a lot about us, and I think we have a video from Ross as well. Can we cue that?
Sure. My name is Ross Longini, and I am a strategic organizational development consultant. Panhandle Animal Shelter is very different, and that they really focus more on the bond or the connection between the pet and the human. And what they're more concerned about is how do we develop and identify those connections so that people can get the benefits of having a pet in their lives, and pets can have the benefit of having people in their lives. So I'd ask that you think about giving as if you were giving to both the people and the animals, and consider increasing what you might have normally given in the past.
Exactly. Just goes back to that community thing. So before we close the 10,000, do we have any other donors that want to step up to the $10,000 level right now? We're going to close this level pretty soon. Mandy, can I close the $10,000 level, or do we want to?
Let's close it and move on.
All right, we are on to our $7,500 level. So maybe the 10 was just a little too high, but that step at the 7,500 is just right there for you. Do we have any donors at our $7,500 level?
So again, John, while we wait for very generous people watching today to make sure they can find that bid button, I just wanted to share with you. I had told you. Say that again?
Is it time for fun facts with Mandy?
Oh yeah. I'm like, hey, fun facts. Okay. So this is amazing. And I actually just learned this, that we have one of the highest return to owner rates in the country for dogs. 85% of the dogs that come into our care actually go back to their owner. And looking at other shelters and organizations, because I really didn't know that was odd, a majority are like 10, 15%. And wow. I attribute that to our great community that shares our Facebook posts and help us get this information out. It's neighbors helping neighbors is really what it's about here.
That's awesome. Okay, right. We are still at the $7,500 level. Do we have any takers at $7,500 before we move on? We are going to move on then. We are moving on to the $5,000 level. And at the $5,000 level, this is where we want to circle back to the estate of Joe Morano. Joe graciously gifted us in his estate the $5,000 gift. Just a great friend to us at the shelter. We've got a little video here of him. Mandy, do you have any other details or things to share about Joe with us?
Well, it was a friend of his that was in charge of his estate, and she came in and met with Paige and really wanted to talk about how important this contribution was for Joe. He just loved helping pets. So it's I think it's one of the most meaningful things that happen here when we get people who decide to leave that legacy gift to our organization. It's very meaningful for us, and then to see the people who are working with the estate and knowing that this contribution they've made is going to have such an impact on animals in need.
Yeah, like truly lifelong, when you can leave something within your estate to the shelter. So thank you again to the estate of Joe Morano.
All right, I think we should move on to the next level.
All right, we are going to move on to our $2,500 level. This is where we need to start seeing some clicks.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to another fun fact from Andy.
So I think it's really important that we recognize that this is our largest fundraiser of the year, and that it's what really carries us through to be able to do the work that we're doing. Each contribution makes an impact in our ability to say yes. And it's one of the things I say to donors and funders, like grantors, is that the greatest gift is to be able to say to somebody that is stressed that they can't keep their animal, or the animal needs some sort of medical care that they can't afford to get, to be able to say, yes, we can help you, and watch that stress leave their body is really meaningful for us. And we can't do it without our community and without your support. So donations are very much appreciated.
Excellent.
Oh, we just got a $500 donation. Thank you very much.
Excellent. We are going to go ahead and move on to the $1,000. And if we miss you, if you want to donate at one of those larger levels, you can go ahead and just throw that in the chat area. And we will definitely recognize you and thank you. We're going to move on to the $1,000 level here. So at this point, if you would like to donate at that level, please click your bid buttons.
So this is such an interesting one. Oh, we just received a $1,000 contribution, and for whatever reason, I'm not seeing the names. So oh, there we go. I can see now. Thank you. Okay, a big thank you to Michael Green. Thank you to Claudia Dick and Ruth Garcia. We really appreciate you very much.
Yeah. And on a side note, Claudia and Mel Dick, Mel's on a bike trip right now across, again, riding his bike across America. I think he's going to end up in Florida or the Key West in middle of October. So good luck to Mel and safe travels. Great.
Hey, John, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm not sure, but your wife has her credit card because she just donated $1,000 to support the shelter. So thank you, Alana, and thank you, Marnie Easley, for your contribution as well.
It's not like I can stop her from here, right?
John, really? Why would you?
I did. Well, I did tell her to save some money for the wine package and the coming up shortly. Okay, thank you very much. The $1,000 level.
Can I inject really quick? We have a
Yes.
couple people who made contributions. Oh, Keith Congleton, thank you so much. Your $1,000 contribution. And then also some people that made contributions before the event. I just want to recognize we had, it's hard to do all this stuff at once. Where is it? We have Shonda and Colin Burnett from Idagon Homes donated $2,100. Thank you guys. And then thank you to Patty and Bob Bell, Linda Blessing and Bruce Hensley for your gifts of $1,000 as well.
Right on. We're rocking it. Well, then, should we leave this open for a little bit longer, Mandy, or are we going to move on to our $500 level?
I think we can move on, but trust me, if you get the urge and you'd like to make a $1,000 contribution, we won't stop you. Heck, if you want to do a 10, 15, 20, we won't stop you. Oh, Pierce Smith just provided us with a $500 contribution. Thank you,
Awesome.
Pierce.
That will just segue us right into the $500 level.
Jean Voorhees, thank you so much for your contribution. Jean just left the board. She put in a good amount of time, and what an amazing person to have on your board. She says yes to everything, FYI. We have Shar Hemingway, who just gave $500. Thank you.
Excellent.
All right.
$500
I like
thanks for coming in. How about a fun fact, man?
Now we have Jim and Janine Ash just gave $500 contribution, and Dory Francis. Thank you. And John, I just want to check in with you with all this activity. Are you thinking about changing careers to be an auctioneer now?
Definitely not. I'm sure everybody else answered that before I did.
Excellent. This is exciting. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, we are going to move on to the $250 level. So if you are inclined to donate at the $250 level, please jump in now.
And thank you to Elizabeth Parenti, who just gave $500.
Excellent. I love when I jump the gun and people go ahead and donate at the other level, the higher level. Mandy, what can the shelter do with even gift of $250? Hate to put you on the spot, but quickly, what do you think? It's amazing.
No, we can do quite a bit. For $250, I know that Devin is watching and she's going to be like, Mandy, if I say this wrong, but I think we can neuter like 10 cats, maybe even more. Just also want to point out the big thank you to Debbie Ford for her contribution and Dory Francis for another contribution. Thank you. And Dory is currently a board member as well.
Okay. We are going to go ahead and move on to that $100 level.
Oh, my mom and dad just gave. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And Beth Craven. Thank you, Beth. I think it's been a very long time since I saw my mom and dad and Beth. So thank you guys for your support.
I miss your mom and dad as bartenders.
I know every single year they were there making, serving up our beer and wine at our event. And maybe they're doing that now at home for each other.
They should.
We have a few more contributions coming in. Margaret McGowan, who I believe is the mom of our Paige McGowan here. We have Kelly West, Lori Rice, Francie Rogers, Chris Bessler, Mitzi Hopkins. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, that's awesome. This is fun. It's so different from normal past events, but it is exciting from a virtual standpoint to just see the support coming in, because here it is 11 o'clock on a Tuesday, and we have so much support and people stepping up to all the great work that you guys do, Mandy. It's fantastic.
Thank you. And Cynthia Buchanan, I was going to say, man, this is exciting. We should do this every day. But I think that that's not being very sympathetic to the people who are issuing the money.
Okay, we're just going to give a few more minutes now for the end of the paddle race. You can continue to donate as we get ready to move on into our next segment. Before I do that, though, I wanted to mention that maybe we can't do this every day, Mandy, but a lot of people don't know that we do have the ability to give monthly, and we have a quick video about monthly giving. Is it okay if we move on to that, or do we want to let the auction move on for a few more moments, or you tell me, Mandy?
Well, I think even if we move on, it is absolutely still possible for people to continue to contribute. So
Yeah.
Instead of holding back our progress and being respectful of people's time, we can move on.
Yep, and we won't close the paddle raise until after the video and we move on officially. So please, if you feel so inclined, please continue to raise the paddles through this next short video.
The newest and most convenient way to give to Panhandle Animal Shelter is through our monthly donor program. Meet Isla, our youngest member to join the new program.
My name is Isla Telford. I am 9 years old. I became a monthly donor because I really like the feeling of having saved animals' lives and helping with all their needs. My favorite thing about being a monthly donor is I help animals. I really like having the feeling of knowing that I've helped and maybe saved lives of animals.
Join Isla in helping to save animals by becoming a monthly donor. Sign up for as little as $5 per month by going to pasidaho.org and clicking donate.
Yeah, it's the monthly giving thing is big because actually Alana, my wife, and I started doing this about 3 years ago. And the great thing is you can, plan a budget and then set it up and then just kind of forget it, so to speak. And the shelter sends you your monthly statements, and at the end of the year, all of your documentation for tax purposes. And it just makes it really easy to make sure that you're doing something continually and constant. It also helps the shelter with their budgets and being able to plan cash forecasts, that sort of thing. So it is a really neat and effective tool.
Yes, and John, we have a number of staff and board members who are all monthly givers, and I think it just, I don't know, I'm kind of a softie. I just think it's great because it shows that the people who are most intimately involved in the work really believe in supporting it on a regular basis.
Excellent. Well, with that, we are going to close our paddle race. Is there anybody else that we needed to recognize within there before I move on?
Let me take a quick look. We had another $250 donated. And that is actually all I think that I am able to see. But thank you, everyone, for your contributions.
With that, real quick, just a quick update. With that, we've actually raised over $20,500 in the paddle race just in what, I don't know, 16 minutes or something. That's fantastic. We thank you so much, especially given the times and given we had no idea what to expect during this. So that's really exciting. And with that, we are now going to move on to our live auction. Not that wasn't live, but this is our live auction, our live items. And we have 3 packages today. And so we're going to jump into the first one, which is our getaway at the Seasons of Sandpoint. This has a value of $1,400 and our starting bid is $700. The package includes a 4-night stay during Thanksgiving holiday. So it's November 25th through the 28th at the Seasons of Sandpoint. And it comes with a $100 gift card to Trinity, at City Beach, a $100 gift certificate to Wildflower Spa, and $25 gift card to the Panhandler Pies. One thing to note is all three of those are within walking distance of Seasons. And if you haven't been to Seasons, it's absolutely amazing, and what a great place to spend your Thanksgiving break there. There are details, I believe, that you can click on within your site there. This was generously donated to us by Arthur and Annie Pollock, Trinity at City Beach, Wildflower Spa, and Carla's friend. So we thank you very much for that. So we are going to start the bidding at $700, and this is where I start that. Do I have 7 start? Do I have 7 start? Do I have 7 start? Let's give me 7, give me 7, and I'm not going to do that anymore, I promise. So let's go ahead and bid. And I promise you won't have to watch me do that. So who wants to open our bid at $700 for the Seasons of Sandpoint Holiday Getaway?
You know, one of the bonuses of this package is if you do have family that comes into town for Thanksgiving, you can put them in your house and you can go, oh, we have a bid. Someone has bid on the $700 for the package.
Excellent. It is a $1,400 value, so it is $700 is a steal. Let's get that up to, it's an $1,800 value. I'm sorry. Do we have an $800 bid? Let's move this up by $100 increments, I believe. $800 bid for the getaway at the Seasons of Sandpoint. You're right downtown.
Yeah, right downtown. I also wanted to just say a quick shout out to Arthur and Annie, who just adopted a new love of their life off of our home-to-home program, and have both been huge supporters of our shelter. So, did we get another? Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention and talk. Yeah, I mean, $800. It can't go for $700. Someone beat that person out.
We have a current high bid of $700. And we are looking for 8 right now. Come on, people.
Come on.
We're in our countdown for the end of the bid, so somebody may end up getting a steal at this. But either way, we certainly appreciate it. I was just going to say that, not only is Trinity at City Beach right there, but with downtown, you have access to so many great small businesses that are so well known. Oh. We are up to 800.
Yeah. Thank you.
So especially if you have family or friends that want to come into town, it's a great location just to be able to walk downtown and see all that downtown Sandpoint has to offer. We're at 800, and we, like I said, the countdown clock is running. I believe we're under a minute. Next bid needs to be at $900. The details of the condo are there if you want to quickly jump over there and see what it has to offer. Again, it's the November 25th through the 28th. What better way to spend Thanksgiving? Okay, we are coming down to the close here. And I believe we are closed. So the winner at $800. What a great deal.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
The next one, we're going to move right on to our next package, which is the Hamilton on Broadway. This package includes 2 tickets to the Best of Broadway production of Hamilton, Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, at the First Interstate Center for the Arts in Spokane. Seats are the 5th row orchestra center. And this package also comes with a $125 gift certificate to Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar, and a $200 gift certificate for a stay at the Davenport Grand. And this package was generously donated by Jim and Janine Ash, Keith Congleton and Kathy Hubbard, and Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar. So we are opening the bid at $350. It has a value of $725. And a lot of you, I'm sure, are aware this this has been sold out nationwide for a long time, and I know they've had been on hold because of COVID, but it's everywhere it was before that, it was sold out completely. And you're also fifth row, orchestra center, so you might want to bring your little baton because you might actually have to lead the orchestra in case the maestro has to drop out.
We actually have had a few bids, and we are currently looking for a $650 bid.
We're at $550 right now. Again, and now you're staying at the Davenport Grand, which is some of the best sleep I've ever had. So that goes right along with it. And then also the Martini Bar doesn't help either, as far as the sleep goes. And
just received another bid at $650.
Excellent. $650. We're at $750 now.
$750. These are hot tickets. When I found out that this was going to be in our live auction, I'm like, oh boy, I want these. I want to go. So if you're a single person looking for a date, sign me up. I'll be there. We're at $950 now. This is great. I love it. Thank you so much, Jim and Janine. What a fabulous package to donate for our fundraiser.
Yes. And Keith and Kathy, thank you very much.
Sorry, Keith and Kathy. I forgot.
You're
These are great.
Keith.
I'm going to get in trouble. Keith is our new president.
All right, we're at 9:50. We actually have started the countdown clock to end this auction. So we have just a few more moments that you can jump this up or bid this up. And we're at $1,000.50. That's awesome.
This is great. Thank you, everyone. So, John, have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but from what I've talked to a few people that have been to it, actually in New York, and they said it's fantastic. So I had a little knowledge of it before it was so generously donated. So I'm interested for sure, but there is another one on here that I'm kind of interested in as well. So the bidding is closed. So I'm not sure what was our final, 1,050?
I believe so.
Yes.
I believe so.
$1,000.50.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Okay. We are going to move on to our third and final package, and this is our Taste of the Valley. This package includes a 2-night stay for two couples. Sorry, not two, but 2 couples. That's 4 people. Let's see, I can do math. Two couples in 2 standard guest rooms at the Courtyard by Marriott, and tastings for 4 at the following wineries. And this is in Walla Walla: Plum Cellars, Armstrong Family Winery, L'École Winery, and Cheese and Charcuterie Board at K Vintners. The package also includes 4 meals at the Maple Counter Cafe, and this package was generously donated by the friends and our friends of Blue Mountain Humane Society and L'École Winery. And this has a value of $948, and we're going to start this at $425. And
well, John, we're already up to $625. The next bid would be $725.
Excellent. I just have to say, I've just on a fluke a few years back, my wife and I went down to Walla Walla to do some wine tasting, and it is so fun. It is such a great place to go because there's so many wineries that are within very short distances. And I think, I can't remember, but I think the count is over 130 wineries down there now. And there's, so along with that, there's other fantastic restaurants. And we've done it actually a couple of times since then, because it's a great getaway, especially in the fall before the snow hits here and looking for something to do. And also that's kind of a downtime as well. So if you haven't been, I highly encourage it. It's a super fun place. So where are we at, Mandy?
Oh, we are at $825. The next bid amount would be $925. And Blue Ridge, Blue Mountain Humane Society just joined our home to home program. They launched it last week. We're now at 925. Hopefully our home to home program will just continue to grow, and we'll sign on all these shelters all over the world and work out trades so that we can continue to bring amazing packages to our community at these events.
Yeah, well, it's cool, because then it's also, we're finding also about other shelters within our region, or whether, maybe it spreads out even further.
Yeah. So we're now at 1,025.
Excellent.
It's hot. I love it.
Okay, let me see where we at on time-wise with this. We're still next.
Just got a note that says that we're adding just a little bit more time because we wouldn't want people to miss out on the opportunity to bid. I can't really see in my screen who's bidding, but John, are you guys trying to win this?
It looks like somebody named Lana is at high bid right now, so I'm not sure.
I was going to say, because it's for two couples, and if you guys want me to come, I would be happy to do that.
We were going to take your kids. Does that work?
Yeah. Okay. This is really great. I've never been to this area, but I've heard so many wonderful things about it. Just the opportunity to get somewhere and get out of, right now, I think everyone feels this way, just having the opportunity to get out of our houses and to think about going out, and wine tasting sounds absolutely delightful. And obviously it does to somebody as well, because we just got a bid up to 1,125.
Excellent. And we are on our final countdown of this as well. So I believe we're under a minute. I don't have the exact time, but I believe we're close.
Yeah. So whoever just got outbid, you have a fraction of time to get that last bid in.
Right now we're at 11:25 with our bidder number 27, Jean Voorhees. Way to go, Jean.
Go, Jean.
If you win, I know a couple that might want to go with you. All right, we are getting down to the final seconds, I believe. And our bidding is closed. Congratulations, Jean. So with that, our live items, we just made just about $3,000, $2,975. Thank you so much. Great, great engagement. Great packages. Thank you again to everybody that donated all of these fine items for us. And let's see, where was I at, Andy?
I don't know, but I'll give you a second. So I just want to acknowledge that we're in the middle of this pandemic, and we've had other shelters talk to us about, oh, well, are you going to do an auction this year? And how are you getting things from people? And I just want to acknowledge the amazing generosity of our community and of all the businesses that have contributed to this event, whether it's in silent or live auction, and each of you who have contributed. I know that right now is kind of an odd time, and it's just really amazing to see the level of support that we have, even in a time where people are kind of uneasy. So thank you very much for your generosity.
Yes, and that was one of the things that I wanted to circle back to, is that our silent auction, there's so many great items in there, and that is open through this Friday. Is that correct, Mandy?
Yes.
So if you haven't gone there and seen all of the great things that have been donated to us, and so many of them are handmade from locals, and there's just a lot of really interesting items within there, quality items. So if you get a chance, be sure and go over there and bid often and bid high and make sure you win it. That helps. It helps you and it helps us.
And then just as a reminder that this video or presentation has been recorded and will be shared throughout the week on Facebook. So if you learned something new or you thought it was fun and you want friends and family to see the impact that we're making in our community, please share it. People are welcome to donate throughout the week. Also, I just said what I was supposed to say, and then I went and looked and was like, oh, look at me. I covered that. That we also raised so far $56,529. So thank you to each of you for your contributions.
Yeah, and we discussed this several times before. We had no idea what to expect here. So to raise that much money with the first time we've ever done anything like this, and with just having, again, the amount of participation from everybody taking time out on a Tuesday morning is so great. We just can't thank you enough. So with that, we just want you to make sure to, the other thing you can do is share and encourage others to learn more about what we do here, because it is so important. And as I've mentioned in the past, one of the things that makes me so proud to have been part of this organization on the board is how forward-thinking they are and how much they do compared to your average shelter across the nation. You truly live in a community that has the best animal shelter, I think, in the U.S. And we've looked at a lot of them, and I'm not on the board anymore, so I'm just saying that. But I just want to thank all of you. I want to thank Mandy. I want to thank Paige. I want to thank Devin, all of their staff. They just do such incredible work, and we are thankful as a community that they're here. And thank you all again for showing up. With that, we're going to close today's event. We hope you enjoyed yourself through some of our stumbles, but that makes it fun as well. And have a great day. Please continue to support us and spread the word.
Thanks, John. Thank you, everyone.
This brings us to the end of our Sit.Stay.Give fundraiser, but you can still view this recording later. Please share it with your friends and tell them about the impact Panhandle Animal Shelter makes in the lives of animals in need. Our silent auction will close on Friday, August 28th, so if you're bidding on an item, keep watching it until then. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for the difference you've made today.